The Positive Side is presented by Infinity of Scottsdale. For over 20 years, Infinity of Scottsdale continues to provide the finest Infinity sales and service. Visit infinityofscottsdale.com. Welcome to The Positive Side, where I'm going to bring you a little bit of life, sports, and entertainment. So sit back and relax. It's showtime. Welcome to The Positive Side. Hi, I'm your host, Roy Garibaldi, and you better sit back and get ready for some real rock and roll, because we're here at the Comerica Theater in Phoenix, Arizona. And this rock legend, Hall of Famer for 11 years, has produced Christmas Pudding, all to benefit his solid rock foundation. You know, when I say back in the days, about 11, 12 years ago, when I was just doing a radio show called The Positive Side of Sports, this rock and roller would come on the radio with me because he loves sports. But now that the TV show is the positive side of life, sports, and entertainment, this rock and roller demonstrates all three of those, and I'm talking about Alice Cooper.
Thank you, man.
I'll tell you, Alice, first of all, I don't know if a lot of people just realize what a giving person that you and Cheryl and the rest of your family are here in this community.
Well, you know, I grew up here. I went to high school. I went to elementary school, high school, and college here. The band started here. We started in high school. We were all on the track team. I mean, so sports and rock and roll to us was synonymous. We would be running, you know, miles and 2 miles and 3 mile runs and then go to rehearse.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I mean, but people didn't realize it was this dastardly band, Alice Cooper. We're all four-year lettermen.
Oh my.
And nobody would understand, you know, they went, what? You know, all the guys in the band were athletes. So we were maybe the most wholesome band. We were more wholesome than the Monkees. You know,
you really were.
Except that
really
our
were.
image was this, you know,
Right.
horrific thing.
Did you ever think that you'd be rocking and doing what you have been doing for this long?
Nobody. Our generation, you know, I was just talking to Rob Halford about this. I said the reason why the music keeps going on, Judas Priest and Alice Cooper and Ozzy and stuff, is because we were closer to the Beatles. We listened to the Beatles. We learned from the Beatles. We learned to write those melodies like the Beatles, and then we just made it harder and made it more theatrical and made it more interesting. You know, the Beatles were the primo band of all time. They were, you know, they were like the prototype.
Sure.
So the bands get further and further away from the Beatles. It started getting thinner and thinner and thinner, and so a lot of the younger bands, they've lost track of songwriting. And that's why, you know, the classic rock, every 15-year-old kid in the world knows The Doors.
Oh, yeah.
And Jimi Hendrix, and, you know.
You know, it's amazing to watch you during sound check and to see how involved you are and to see it's what I call authentic, real rock and roll, real music.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Not monsters yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just reference. We want to do muscle?
Yeah, let's do muscle. Okay, come up here.
Michael! Mike! I didn't break it. I get you guys. Left Lucy, right tighty, bud. Bill, right. Go ahead, guys.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Fire.
Today's music, for me growing up, a Stones fan, the Beatles, the Kinks, I mean, you go back and forth there, but when you listen to the music today, I feel like there's so much that's being missed.
It's you can't just write a riff and a lyric. You have to make it a song. You have to make it a verse, a B section, a chorus, and make it make sense. You know, you have to marry the lyrics to that chord. And that's all in the art of songwriting. I work with Bob Ezra, and I work with Desmond Child, I work with Diane Warren, I work with people that are real songwriters. And then you bring what you want to say into it, and you write songs. It's interesting when I get young bands and they go, okay, and I say, boy, your image is great. I get it, you're angry, you know. I said, but there's no song here. I said, you understand? You're yelling at me. You're angry. I get it. Now write me a song that's angry, but make it a song.
It has some meaning.
Make it a song that makes me go, wow, you're right, you know. But right now, all I'm hearing is a riff, a drum beat, and you're angry. It's not gonna. 2 months from now, nobody's gonna care. But make that something that I can hang my hat on, that I can remember. That's a song then.
I think that's what makes this Solid Rock Foundation Teen Center, to me, so intriguing, because when you know, I lost my brother to drugs when I was 18. He was only 16 years old. He just didn't know the right people to hang out with. And today, Alice, there are so many distractions. There's a lot of kids that get lost, and it's so easy to get lost today.
It is. Well, the ante is up on everything. I'm thinking when I was in high school, and I'm not trying to be the old man, when I was in high school, but when I was in high school, if you got busted, it was for beer. Now a kid the same age gets busted for heroin.
Right.
The ante's way up on that. If you get in a fight, and when I was a kid, you had a bloody nose and a black eye, and so did the other guy, and the next day there was a little respect.
Sure.
Now somebody drives by your house with a machine gun.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, the ante is up on everything, you know, so the kids are at more risk now than they've ever been. You know, that's why you need something, an alternative. If you're gonna have all that energy and you're gonna do something with it, learn the guitar.
Sure, sure.
That's gonna take more time than you've ever believed that, you know.
And with the Teen Center, it's kind of cool that it's not just about music. You had mentioned about lighting, production,
everything,
and learning how to shoot. This way, a kid has a chance to really fall into something that they love doing.
That's right. We're going to put a recording studio into this place. If you go into a place, and I tell everybody, it takes 5 of us to get on stage and play. It takes 25 to get this show up and going. In other words, I can't do this show without those other 20 people.
Absolutely.
Because the lighting, the sound, the fog, the this and this, and it all is timed. And they have to know exactly how to get it. The guys that get the amps there, and the guys that get them set up, and the guys that get them the sound every night. I mean, that's an art. Oh, yeah.
That's why when you see these guys during sound check, it's like one big family, isn't it?
It is. And in my show, everybody that's on that stage, if you're behind the stage, you're in the show. You're either the executioner, or you're the guy that gets Alice into the guillotine in costume. The guy that drives the truck, I go, you're the Chinese assassin tonight. What?
You're the guy.
Get in costume, let's go. You know, so everybody realized it's like the old circus. The guy that sold you the ticket outside was also the tightrope walker and sold you popcorn. You know, so everybody has I'm not just the truck driver, I'm also this.
How cool is it to sit down with a Hall of Fame rock legend like Alice Cooper and be as humble as he is? But when we come back, he's going to share with us his Christian faith and his goals for taking the Solid Rock Foundation to another level. The Positive Side is presented by Ganem Jewelers, featuring Knight Rider.